Tuesday, 9:30 a.m., and I will bring this virtual meeting of the county books to order. I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda with additions and deletions.
Move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Sobel. Second by Floyd. Second by Floyd. Okay, and I've got a second by Floyd. And the additions are the COVID-19. There's a couple of additions there, and the deletion is to consider the mail balloting of polls 4 and 5. Is that correct then?
Mr. Chair, there's actually a couple more additions. There's a notice of hire that I can share that screen again if you'd like. And then there's also one addition from Environmental Services to approve DNR special use permit at water access for aquatic invasives.
Okay, yep. I should have known that because I just signed it off not long ago. So
Great.
all right. Any other additions or deletions? Okay. Got a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Tablet? Aye. Bragg? Aye. Sobel? Aye. Floyd? Aye. And myself. So, motion carried unanimously. Let's see. COVID-19 update. Is Kathy available?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Kathy.
The statistics for Minnesota as of yesterday, the total tests administered was 156,606. There's a total for Minnesota of 16,372 positive cases and 731 deaths. As far as our county, we still are at the 5 cumulative cases. Right now, what seems to be going on in our community is that there's just a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. I think with the uptick of cases, people are getting more nervous. They know who has tested positive, and so we're getting a lot of questions from community members, and we're just answering them as best we can. Derek continues to put out lots of information on our Facebook page, and it's a great spot to know to find out what's going on and to get information that you might have questions about. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Do you have any information on how things went for the partial reopening of things yesterday?
I have not really heard much about that. It's figured into some of the questions that we have. There's been a lot of more questions about who do they go to, who can they report to if they don't feel safe at their work, and what kind of rights that they have. I've referred a lot of people to the governor's executive orders so that they can read what options they have, where they can report to if they don't feel their company is providing a safe environment, that kind of thing. So I think that the partial reopening was resulted in that.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they know from the reopening yesterday? It doesn't sound like anybody has anything. So, all right. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
We like your haircut, Kevin. You do, huh? I told you my beard trimmer the other day. He said, have that, or I said, let's get rid of it. for May 12th.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Pavlik.
Second.
That Brian that did that?
Yes.
Okay, second by McBride. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Pavlik?
Aye.
McBride?
Yes.
Sobel?
Aye.
Toy? Aye. And aye. Let's see. Human resource. Janelle, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
It looks like I have a separation notice for a part-time correction officer. I believe that is the one for Heather Olson.
Okay. So I have a motion to approve that.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pavlik.
Great.
Second, Mr. Chair.
By Commissioner Sobel. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Pavlik?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Troy? Aye. And aye. Let's see.
Mr. Chair,
Yep.
could we do the notice of hire, the addition, notice of hire of Kane Koscheck as temporary transport driver effective May 15th, 2020? Would that be okay?
Yep, we sure can.
Thank you.
Wishes of the board.
That one does not need board approval. It's a notice.
Oh, just a notice. Okay, okay.
Yes, just a notice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let's see. Environmental service business.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, yep.
I am sorry to interrupt again. I would like to move highway business up to in front of environmental services because we are going to reappoint our county engineer, and Tom West has an appointment that he needs to be at. So I thought if we could just move highway business up next, that would give Tom enough time.
Okay, yep.
All right.
Not to me, I'm sorry I spaced it out, so.
It's okay.
Okay, is Dave on? And Tom? Okay, I'm here. Okay, thanks, Tom. I'm here. All right, we'll do the reappointment of our highway engineer for Dave Reimer. I'll move. Okay, are you doing them both, Chair? What's that? Are you looking for a motion for both positions? Just for Dave Reimer. Okay, I'll move. Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Pavlik. Do I have a second?
Second,
Sorry,
Mr. Chair.
second. Was that Sobel? Was that you, Jason, that seconded that?
No, Wayne.
Oh, that was Wayne? Okay. You're the one that... Yeah. Okay. Do you want them to do the oath first again before we do a roll call vote, or?
I think you can do the roll call vote first.
Okay. We'll do a roll call vote. Pavlik? Aye. Brett?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Coy? Aye. And myself is an aye. Now we'll do the oath and welcome for another 4 years, Dave. Thank you. Constitution of the United States, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and that I will discharge faithfully, that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of County Engineer, the duties of the office of the County Engineer in the County of Koochiching, in the County of Koochiching, the State of Minnesota, to the best of my judgment and ability. To the best of my judgment and abilities. Thank you, Dave. Congratulations. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Dave. Thanks. You have a speaking with you, Dave? Hey, could I add one thing? Sure. Dave, I'll need you to come over to the county building and sign this, and then it has to be notarized, and we send it to the recorder before we send it on to Jenny. Okay. Alrighty, thank you. And that can be at any time today. Okay. As long as it's not between 11:30 and 12:30. Okay. Although we wanted to get Dave to the office before he could change his mind. And hopefully that black cat isn't going to do anything. There's a dog here. Oh, there's a dog? No, a cat and a dog. I think Trent was going to do the two board motions. Yeah. Okay, yep, there's a couple things we got ahead of that, so. But, again, welcome aboard for another 4 years. Okay, environmental service business. Yeah. Matt around. No. Yeah. Is it? I think Trent was going to do two items for highway business, I thought. Or do you want me to move forward with mine? Well, we got you first before we got highway, so. Okay. So the two items, I have a couple items related to aquatic invasive species, our inspection program. Of course, the county receives AIS funding from the state to implement the AIS management and prevention. We use some of these funds to operate an inspection and decontamination program at boat launches throughout the county. Always There staffing has provided inspectors in the past and has provided the inspection services as needed. This agreement would be for 2020 season and includes a 14-day written notice for termination. So 14 days we can terminate if needed. The agreement has been reviewed by the county attorney, and I would recommend entering into the agreement. Oh, McBride? Okay, I've got a motion by McBride. Do I have a second? Skoy. I've got a second by Skoy. Any discussion? McBride? Go ahead, Brian. Hey, Matt, reading that over, we're also doing some inspection in northern St. Louis County. Is that reflected in our funding, or do they reimburse us for that? Yeah, so we have a contract that was approved previously with the North St. Louis County Soil and Water Conservation District. They have a funding from St. Louis County to provide AIS inspection services, and so they asked us if we would help them at Capitola and Ash River, and so the board approved that previously, and yes, so we are going to include inspectors for Ash River and Capitola, and then always their staffing does provide those. Thank you. Matt, when we go down to northern St. Louis County for the inspection, do we take our decontamination unit down there? Or? No. So at this time we're just providing the inspectors and our decontamination unit. We're actually not setting the decontamination unit up this year just because of the situation with COVID-19.
This year is an unusual year because of COVID-19, but we did plan to have inspection, provided at the landings. So.
Okay. Anything else from that? Okay, I'll do a roll call vote. Tablet?
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.
Stonebum?
Aye.
Boy? Aye. And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
We had a second item on there, right?
Yes. Thank you for adding it there. So as part of the inspection program, the DNR requires us to have a special use permit for use at the landings. So this permit that is in front of you allows us to conduct the AIS inspection program at those landings. It's a permit that the DNR just requires for any special use outside of just launching your boat. So.
Okay.
Who on that special permit?
Got a motion by McBride.
Story, second.
Second by Skoye. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, roll call vote. Tablet?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Stonebum?
Aye.
Skoye? Aye. And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Matt. IS Systems Business. Jackie?
Hi there. So the first RBA I have for you is to approve the purchase of replacement server hardware along with some software to upgrade two of those servers. This is a big project. The last server hardware was purchased in 2012. So we're replacing that entire line of equipment. And as you can see, it's been budgeted for and planned for in the 2020 budget, and is cost shared across departments that get non-county revenue reimbursement.
Okay. This is the board.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Tablet.
Second, Chair.
Second by Stonebum. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Tablet?
Aye.
Right?
Aye.
Stonebum?
Aye.
Skoye?
Aye.
And I am an aye. And congratulations again, Jackie. You got another one.
Mr. Chair, I missed that second. I'm sorry.
Second was that Skoye?
Stonebum.
So, okay.
We're so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Jackie.
Okay, and my second RBA for today is an opportunity that I guess is taking advantage of the pandemic. Steve Georgie of Rams reached out to Jenny via Representative Eklund to introduce this project to us. Jenny and I sat in on a web conference to see the product in use as it's been deployed in St. Louis County. This seems to be a great opportunity to really gather some data regarding what is really available for broadband internet service throughout the county. It's critical that we do this while the schools are still in session, which really gives us only 1 week. We've heard back from 361 saying they're bringing in equipment on Thursday and Friday of this week. So it's kind of a do or don't do moment right now. It has not been funded or planned for in the 2020 budget, so we'll be looking at $5,000 to come from somewhere, and I've asked Jenny to try and identify the location for those funds. The intent would be that Koochiching Technology Initiative Committee would work in conjunction with the Information Systems Department to do the crowdsourcing, come up with ideas, try and help get along to move it as quickly as possible. But Steve Georgie will be in contact with the school district to ensure that they get the message out quickly to the students that are working from home right now.
You need a motion on that? I do. Oh, Skoy moves. I've got a motion by Skoy. Do I have a second? McBride. And I've got a second by McBride. Any questions for Jackie?
Well, Mr. Chair, I'd like to say I think this is an excellent opportunity. I'm sorry I missed the webinar on that, but I think it's really going to give a nice picture countywide of the needs, where there needs to be improvement, and get some actual data that we can kind of use. So.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Discussion?
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Jen?
In terms of where the funding would come from, we do have some funds in administration contingency for things like this as they come up during the year. My recommendation is to use funds from admin contingency, but also I had a conversation. We talked about the Concon area. That is a hugely underserved area for broadband, and using some funds from Concon would certainly fall into the allowable usage of Concon funds, and I'm proposing between $1,500 and $2,000 to use for Concon funds, and then the remainder from administration contingency.
Okay, do you want a dollar amount from that put into the motion, or?
Yes, that would be great if I could.
Okay, Wayne, are you okay with that?
Yes, Kevin.
Okay.
I'll move on that.
And who's the second on that?
Right.
Okay, Brian, are you okay with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Any further discussion?
I thought the chair should kick in the $5,000, but I'll go along with it.
Conley?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Strobel?
Aye.
Goy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Congratulations, Jackie.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Jackie.
Okay, highway business. It's sent around.
Good morning, everyone. So the highway department has two RBAs in, both for seasonal bid items. The first one would be the 2020 nuisance beaver bids. We advertised that. We opened bids last Monday, May 11th. We got good prices. We didn't get a whole lot of bidders, but we got good prices. We've got Jim Roggenrud at $47 in Area 1, which is around the International Falls area. We've got Jerry Palm in Area 2 at $48. He is around the Lowman over to Brookdale area. We've got Jim Roggenrud at $54.50 per beaver in Area 3, which is around the Big Falls area. Area 4 would be $62. That was for 10 miles, and that's around the Mizpah area. And finally, Area 5 around Silverdale was $64.50 for Mr. Roggenrud, Jim Roggenrud.
Okay, this is the board.
You need a motion? You need a motion, Trent? Yes.
Both moves. Got a motion by Skoy? We have a second.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And I've got a second by Sobel. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote. Pavlik?
Aye. Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Skoy?
Aye.
And myself. Okay.
Just to quickly jump back on the nuisance beaver, though our prices are a lot better than last year, we'll likely see more beaver caught this year. I know in Area 2, we're already up to 47 just this spring. So we'll see more cost incurred this year.
So
that is correct.
And the trapper gets to keep the pelt?
That is open for discussion. In years past, they haven't been able to salvage anything from the beaver, but there's additional discussion this year with the conservation officers on whether or not they can salvage any part of the beaver.
Okay.
But as of right now, there's no decision made.
That's up to you, Trent, as to what happens to the pelt?
So right now, the beaver is disposed of at the site at the site that it was trapped, and the trapper cannot salvage any part of the beaver, whether it be the pelt, the meat, the caster.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I have a question for Ben.
Yep.
Trent, sometimes there was no bounty paid during trapping season. That has been waived. Am I correct on that?
That is correct. Even during trapping season, we pay a bounty to the county trapper.
Yeah, because I know some years they didn't, and there was no money in trapping it, and the beaver are still a nuisance. So, okay. I would say that the value of the health isn't that much when it gets into summer anyhow, but I guess that's between you and the DNR.
Okay. Approved 2020 hired truck service.
Need to vote that, Mr. Chair.
What's that?
Don't we need to vote that? Or did we vote it?
I thought we did. Didn't we, Jen?
We did vote it.
So the other RBA that the Highway Department has is the 2020 hired truck service. In the event that we need additional gravel haulers or similar for a particular road, we contract that out. This year, like any other year, we only had one bidder. It was Zimba, and they came in $5 higher per hour than they had in the past. So Area 1, and this follows the same areas as the beaver trappers. Area 1 was $110 an hour around the International Falls area, and then areas 2, 3, 4, and 5 came in at $115 an hour.
Okay.
You need a motion?
Yep.
Stoy.
Got a motion by Stoy?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
And I've got a second by Showboom. Discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Trent, in years past, has there been more than one bidder?
Occasionally we'll see ones and twos, but for the most part, it's typically just the one bidder. And in years past, when we were dealing with Minnesota Power, we were a lot more likely to use these folks with the bigger Minnesota Power upgrades that we did on the roads in the western part of the county and then the southern part of the county. This year, I'm not anticipating a whole lot of use, so there shouldn't be a large cost associated with this bid.
Thank you, Trent.
I would have kind of anticipated, the cost or the prices to be down a little bit from what they were in the past, simply because of the gas prices, but I guess they are what they are, so.
Yeah, and then a lot of people are on other jobs too. There's a lot of folks hauling for you and out to the airport this year. You'll also see a lot of people out on 53 will be hauling for that project. I see they opened bids this morning. They have them listed on their website, and looks like KGM was the apparent low for that Highway 53 project.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And we'll do a roll call vote on the property business. Is Nathan there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
So the first RBA is to approve an easement request from the city of Northome across a tax forfeited parcel that's described as Lot 10, Auditor's Plat 21. This road that goes across this parcel and a few other parcels is known as the Boy Scout Camp Road, and it hasn't ever really formally been dedicated as a road. So even though it's been in existence and the city of Northome has maintained this road for decades, they're in the process of putting water and sewer across or underneath this road bed, and they want to formalize the road with the affected landowners there. So it's not only us, but there's 5 other parties involved in this as well. So they're looking for a 22.5-foot easement across Lot 10 of Auditor's Plat 21 on each side of the center line of the road. Both the county attorney and the county surveyor have reviewed this easement document as well.
Are you representing that, Adam?
Yes.
I'll move, Mr. Chair. Got a motion by Commissioner Pavlik. Second by Skoye. Yeah, second by Commissioner Skoye. Any discussion? None. Roll call vote. Pavlik? Aye. McBride? Aye. Sobel?
Aye.
Skoye? Aye. And I am an aye. Let's see. Approved tax forfeited parcel cleanup.
Yep, so this is, we're looking for county board authorization to clean up and dispose of abandoned personal property and authorize future demolition of a couple of newly acquired tax forfeited properties here within International Falls proper. So,
wishes of the board?
move, Mr. Chair.
Motion by McBride.
Second.
Was that Wade?
Yep.
Okay, second by Pavlik. Discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Nathan, I seem to lost that paper. Is there going to be a cost incurred with that? Well, there'll be a little bit of a cost incurred with the, one of them is actually the city of International Falls, before it went tax forfeit, they had started a condemnation proceedings against the property because of the hazardous conditions. So they had went in and cleaned out the property already. The other one still needs to be cleaned out, and then we will be putting in a request to the city to actually do the demolition. But with the city's new demolition policy, we may have small costs to incur on that, but it's still a pretty good service that we get provided by the city there.
And Nathan, those properties and then would go up for sale eventually, or are they of value to the county or the city?
Yeah, no, they will. We would both of these would likely get targeted for a future land sale, which we're hoping to maybe hold one this fall, depending on what how this situation unfolds here. But before they are actually allowed to be put on a land sale, we have to give. In this case, we would give the city of International Falls notice, and they would have 60 days to comment on whether they would like to see those properties offered for sale or not, or they could request them for purchase themselves.
So both those properties are within the city limits of International Falls?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then both of them are, one of them, they're a lot of times these properties that go tax forfeit, especially here in International Falls, these residential type properties, a lot of times they're on small, non-buildable lots. So once the houses or structures get demoed, they're only of any value to the adjacent property owners.
Any other questions for Nathan? All right. I'll do a roll call vote. Pavlik?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Skoye?
Aye.
And I am an aye. quick notice that Terry Randolph contacted me just last week and wanted me to just mention that Memorial Day services for this coming weekend are not going to be held simply because of the COVID-19 situation. So, but he wanted me to let you guys know that the situation and that they just decided, the SW did decided not to hold services. That way we'd be able to avoid social distancing thing. All right,
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
Just one comment for the board chair and anybody that's online here. If you stop by the City of International Fire Department this morning, you can see Rural Fire's new boat. It's parked there. It's a beautiful boat. And, I suppose, I don't, maybe Wade knows more than I do, but I'm sure the Rural Fire and the City of International Falls are going to have some training on that boat.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that picture when I was in film, so.
Mr. Chair, that'd be quite a fishing. Mr. Chair?
Yep.
Hello, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Mark over at the Veteran Service Office. Just like to add to the Memorial Day piece that you discussed about with information from Terry Randolph. There's also going to be a radio announcement of the veterans that have passed during the past year on Memorial Day. And Terry had also informed me that they may be looking at doing something, later on in the fall or whatever to make up for the Memorial Day services that we basically either canceled or suspended for the time being. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Question for Mark? Mark, yes, sir. Anybody going to put flags out or anything? Do you know?
Right now, there is no plan to put flags out.
Okay, thank you.
Regarding that, Commissioner McBride, I was watching the news this morning, and even at Fort Snelling, it sounded like they were going to eliminate putting flags out